What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Aviation ROA, and in today's video we are going to be doing the long-awaited May update for Star Valley International Airport, which is my fictional storyline airport. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today we have a pretty banger update, a bunch of new models in this update, and because it's been a while, but I'm super excited. We are in the, summer season now, basically. Kind of crazy to say, but yeah, but apart from that, let's just get straight into this update. Starting off the update here, just lining up on runway 24, we have a Delta Connection CRJ 900. He's lining up for departure out to Cincinnati, and he arrived in from Memphis, Tennessee, an hour and 10 minutes ago. About to hold short of runway 24, we have a British Airways 777-200ER. He's operating the first of 2 daily flights out to London Heathrow, and he arrived in from there about 2.5 hours ago. Next up, we have the beautiful Piedmont Airlines 767-200ER. He was getting pushed back for seasonal service out to Paris Orly. This route started last summer and has been brought back for the 2026 summer season, so it's great to see. He's pushing back service out to Paris Orly. Next up, we have an Austrian Airlines Airbus A330-200. He's going to be heading out to Vienna here in 30 minutes, and he arrived in from Vienna an hour and a half ago. Next up, we have a KLM Airbus A330-300. This is a new addition to the collection and something I've been after for a very long time, so it's awesome to finally have a KLM A330-300 in the fleet, an aircraft that ultimately has a very special place in my heart, so it's awesome to finally have one. So this KLM Airbus A330-300, he arrived in from Amsterdam Schiphol about an hour ago, and he is scheduled for the flight back in exactly an hour. Current schedules for Amsterdam dictate 4 daily flights, 2 on KLM and 2 on Delta. KLM is going to operate a mix of A330s, 777s, and 747s, and then the 2 other daily flights will be operated by Delta Airlines and Northwest Airlines. Typically Delta, however, Northwest will be adding in some of their A330s occasionally as well. Next up, we have a Northwest Airlines Boeing 747-200. This is a new aircraft to the collection as well, and something that, you don't come across every day, but it's great to see. This has a reflective chrome painting on it. The final Northwest livery was a gray tone livery, not reflective, but this is a reflective chrome livery, very much like the American old color scheme. So it's a very nice model to have, and I like it very much. So Northwest is going to be operating 747 flights to Tokyo Narita, which is our first destination in East Asia. Surprisingly, we haven't gotten there yet, but we are now in East Asia, so we are operating 3 weekly flights out to Tokyo Narita on Northwest Airlines 747-200s. They'll be parking at Concourse A because of the gate space that's actually existent here. At Concourse C, where Northwest is typically based out of, there is no 747 capable gate, so Northwest will be parking their 747s over at Concourse A. So this Northwest Boeing 747-200 will be departing out to Tokyo Narita here in 30 minutes. Moving back to the lineup for runway 24, we have a Northwest Airlines Douglas DC-940. He's taxiing for departure out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he arrived in from Charlotte Douglas International Airport 50 minutes previously. Moving back to the A gates, we have another KLM. We have a KLM 777-300ER this time. Like I said before, 4 daily flights out to Amsterdam, so this is going to be the second daily KLM flight. He will be departing out to Amsterdam Schiphol here in 2.5 hours, and he just arrived in from Amsterdam 5 minutes ago. Moving down the line here, we have an Air France Boeing 777-300ER. He arrived in from Paris Charles de Gaulle 30 minutes ago, and he's scheduled for the turn back out to Paris in an hour's time. Air France is operating 2 daily flights out to Paris this season, with Delta contributing another 2. So Air France is definitely our second busiest international route behind Amsterdam, so it's great to see some Paris action. Next up, just pulling into Bravo 2, we have a Delta Airlines Airbus A330-300. He's arriving in from Brussels, and he's going to be departing out to Rome in an hour and a half. Next up at the B gates, we have a Delta Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD-11 in the Ron Allen color scheme. He's going to be heading out to Frankfurt here in 30 minutes, and he arrived in from Lagos about an hour ago. Also in the Ron Allen livery, here we have a Delta Airlines Boeing 767-400ER. He arrived in 3 hours ago from Copenhagen, and he's going to be departing out to London Heathrow here in an hour's time. Not something you see all too often anymore. Here we have a Northwest Airlines Boeing 757-200 parked at the B gates. This was parked over here because there was no available gate space at Northwest C concourse. So they parked over here, and we have the Northwest Delta 757 lineup, which is something we, once again, don't really see all too often anymore. So this Northwest 757 is going to be departing out to Los Angeles LAX here in 15 minutes, and he arrived in from Denver 15 minutes before this. Moving down the lineup, we have a Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200. He arrived in from Mexico City 15 minutes ago, and he's going to be departing out to Orlando MCO in 50 minutes time. Next up, we have a Delta Airlines Boeing 737-900ER. He arrived in from Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport 45 minutes ago, and he's going to be scheduled to turn out to Chicago O'Hare in 15 minutes. Next up, we have a Delta Airlines Airbus A321ceo. He's going to be heading out to Salt Lake City here in 20 minutes, and he arrived in from Detroit Metropolitan 40 minutes ago. And finally, for the B gates here, we have a Delta Airlines Boeing 717. He arrived in from Boston Logan International Airport, and he's going to be departing at the Houston Intercontinental. Moving over to FedEx, we have a Boeing 757-200 here at the cargo apron. He is going to be departing at the Indianapolis at 9 p.m. tonight. Just texting to his gate at Concourse C, we have a Northwest Airlines Douglas DC-930 in the final color scheme. He arrived in from Fargo, North Dakota 5 minutes ago, and he's currently taxiing to his gate, and he is scheduled for departure out to Raleigh-Durham in 50 minutes. And starting off Concourse C, we have Northwest Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD-82. This is a new model to the collection, and you may have never heard of this because Northwest had a relatively short-lived fleet of MD-82s. They only were around for about 9 years in comparison to much longer-lived fleet types, and there were only about 12 of them, so there were not that many. However, this aircraft is going to be operating the MSP turn today, so he's going to be heading out to Minneapolis-St. Paul here in 15 minutes, and he arrived in from there 45 minutes ago. Moving down the lineup, we have a Delta Connection and Embraer ERJ-170 in the wavy gravy color scheme. He arrived in from New York JFK 30 minutes ago, and he's scheduled for the turnaround out to Asheville, North Carolina in 30 minutes. Next up, we have another Northwest DC-930. This one is in the bowling shoe color scheme. He arrived in from Kansas City about an hour ago, and he's scheduled for pushback out to Cedar Rapids in 5 minutes. And finally, for the Northwest lineup here, we have a Northwest Airlines Airbus A320. He arrived in from New Orleans MSY, and he's scheduled for departure at the Phoenix Sky Harbor in 15 minutes. Moving to the other side of Concourse C, here we have an American Eagle Embraer ERJ-145. He arrived in from Charlotte Douglas International Airport, and he's going to be heading back out there. Just taxiing to his gate at Concourse D, we have a WestJet 737-700 operating the once daily flight in from Calgary. He's going to be departing back out there in an hour and 15 minutes. Starting Concourse D, we have an Allegiant Air Airbus A319. He arrived in from Orlando Sanford, and he's going to make the departure back out there in 35 minutes. Next up at Concourse D, we have a Spirit Airlines Airbus A320. In spite of Spirit's non-existence anymore in our real world, Spirit will be continuing to operate in Star Valley because, once again, this is fiction. So this Spirit Airlines Airbus A320 is going to be departing out to Fort Lauderdale, and he arrived in from Tampa 45 minutes ago. And finally, for this update, we have an Air Canada Express Embraer ERJ-175. He's getting ready for departure out to Toronto Pearson here in 20 minutes. That is going to do it for today's update of Star Valley International Airport. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, do leave them down below, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.